everyone, Christine here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to all my new subscribers. I have some sneaky peeks for you today for Scrap Diva Designs, and here's Erica's info. Her website is scrapdivadesigns.com, and remember to check out her hashtag scrapdivadesigns, and if you do upload a project, make sure you use her hashtag. And here's all her social media sites, which I'll leave everything down below. And so before I share with you what I've created, let me share with you what we're sneak peeking today. Okay, first up is this Valentine Stamp and Die Set 2026. And it has all these Valentine's words. And this is one stamp. It would stamp everything out at once. And included in the stamp set is this is a die that will cut everything out all at once. And I do have a photo of what this all looks like. And next is the A2 bow set, and this comes with 3 different size bows, a small, medium, and large. This is the medium size, and I'll show you a little bit closer what they look like on my projects. And next is the confetti plates. You have 2 plates, one that has hearts and the other plate has bows. And the hearts measure 11/16 of an inch and the bows measure 7/8 of an inch. And you have 49 hearts on this plate, and on the bow there's 42 bows. And let me share with you what that looks like. And next we have the Valentine Words 2026. And let me share with you what that looks like. You have Valentine, Babe, Hey Sugar, Heartbreaker, Hello Lover, Love You, Love, Galentine Gang, Hugs and Kisses, Crush, and Vibes. And it comes with 3 of these hearts here of this size and 3 of the smaller hearts and 1 of the lips here. And all of the words or word phrases come with a shadow, a stitch shadow. And next, there's a Love Bag Topper number 2. And I do have some projects, so I'll share that with you. And then also the Romantic Heart. There's 2 different hearts here, and I do have some projects showing what this is. There's 2 different size hearts and 2 layers, and on the larger size there's 2 different layers, and I'll share that with you. And then also, I love this one. This one is called Romantic Rectangle. And it has 2 different size scallops and 2 stitched layers. And I do have projects using those products. And also, these are called the double ruffle set. You have 2 different size scalloped ruffles, and then the layering, and they all have the scoring on them. And so I do have projects with these as well. And then we have the Valentine Treat Holder Pouch, the Heart Bowls, the XOXO border, the 3D Kissing Booth Box, the Heart Barcode Stamp, and this one I can't wait to play with this one. It's called Cottage Mini Album. And I'm sorry I can't share with you the dies outside of the package. Once it's already been released and I've completed my projects, I'll show you the dies. Okay, so this one is the Hot Air Balloon Mini Album. And a lot of these mini album ones, they do have 2 pages of dies. And this one is the Heart Mix. And this is the Heart Disco Ball Mini Album. And this one is the Disco Ball Cherries. And there's 2 pages of dies here. Okay, let me share with you the Love Bag Topper number 2. The largest one measures 4 by 4 1/4, and the smaller one measures 2 7/8 by 3. And so what you do is you get the bag topper here, and then you get your layers for the letters for this way and also backwards. And what I did was I popped these up on foam, and then I added Hugs and Kisses from the new Valentine stamp set. And then I have some seam binding and some lace trim here. And I used some beads. This heart bead is from my sweet friend Lady Cree. Hi, my sweet friend. And so that's the larger one. And then the smaller one here, basically the same. So you have your letters, and I popped up on foam. And then again, these charms are again from Lady Cree's shop. Okay, so that's the Love Bag Topper number 2. And the next dies I'm featuring are the double ruffle set. And I'm also using from the Valentine Treat Holder pouch. There's a scalloped heart and a solid heart from here. And then I'm also using the Fallout hearts from the Romantic Heart. It cuts out a bunch of hearts, so I saved those. And then an older but goodie die is the Heart Bag Topper dies. It comes with 3 bag toppers, and I'm using the largest one. And one of my favorites, the Shabby Chic Doily, I'm using the smallest one. Okay, starting with this one, I have my Shabby Chic Doily here. And for the double ruffle, I didn't flatten it completely because I wanted dimension there. And here's that scalloped heart. And the solid heart, which I popped up on foam. And this die cut here, this cherub and this little flower, that's from K & Company. Of course, that's they've been discontinued a long time ago. And this little heart is from the confetti plate, and this is a fallout from the Romantic Hearts. And here's my Valentine from the new Valentine Words. I popped up the shadow partially, and then popped up the letters. And then I have a seam binding bow. And this little charm is also from Lady Cree. Thank you, sis. And then this lace here is from my twinsy Mimi Jocelyn Designs. And then I have more lace here from Joann's. And then here's my other one. And this is using the Hugs and Kisses from that Valentine word set. And what I did differently, because it was sitting on this red heart, is I cut this out in the word hugs in white, and then I created a little shadow. It's very subtle, but I tried to give it a little bit of separation. And so same thing with the other one. I have my Shabby Chic Doily, and then I have the scalloped heart and the popped up solid heart. And I have another seam binding bow. And this little heart charm is from Lynn, the Gift Diva. Thank you, Lynn. And then that same lace here. So those are those projects. And next, the dies I'm using are the Romantic Heart. And again, this has 2 different size hearts. It's 5.5 by 5 1/4 for the larger size, and the smaller one is 3 5/8 by 3 1/2. And it comes with 2 layers for the largest one, and also a layer for the center of the heart. And then the smaller one does not have layers, but it also has a smaller heart layer, and I'll go over that with you. And then again, I'm using the heart plate from the confetti plates. I'm using the negative heart from the Love Bag Topper number 2. I'm using this tiny little heart. And then I'm using the A2 bow set, which I'll talk about in just a bit after I talk about the Romantic Hearts. And then I'm also using the Shabby Chic Doily. I think I'm using the medium sized one. Okay, so starting with, I'm going to start with this heart. Okay, so I created a card with this, and I think most of you know, so I created it with the larger size layer. So when you fold your paper in half, make sure you put your die over the edge so it doesn't cut it off. And I know there's tutorials in there on YouTube somewhere. Anyways, so here's the larger one. Isn't it cute? And I use the layer on the inside for the inside. And then I have Valentine Wishes. This is from the new Valentine stamp set. And these little hearts are the fallouts from this die here. So now this set does come with this heart. Now this heart cuts out the center so you get a border. Now you can do make a shaker out of this, but you have to cut your own, trace the outside to cut your own heart. And so anyway, I have my shabby chic doily here, and this is the A2 bow, heart, A2 bow, which I'll go over in just a bit. And I added some lace under here. And so that's my card. Isn't that pretty? And then here I have, and I'll share this with you in just a second. I have another card. So here's the other size heart. And so just to compare. And again, this one is 3 5/8 by 3 1/2. And again, I'm using the words from the new stamp set. And these are the fallouts, or sorry, not fallouts, from the confetti plate. And again, this is the little bow for the new bow set. And I added lace underneath. And these, all my laces are mostly from Joann's. And then I just have a small flower cluster. And this charm again is from Lady Cree's shop, or actually a blessing from her. I'm not sure if she sells that in her shop. And I have more lace here. And I don't have anything on the inside yet. And so that's that. So let me talk about the bows, which is here the A2 bow set. So you have 3 different size bows, and you have the small, medium, large. The small measures 1 3/8 just for the bow, and then from the end to the end of the actual, I don't know what you would call that, ribbon, is 2 3/4. And then the medium size here is 2 1/16 for the bow, and the ribbon part is 4 1/4. And then the largest one is 2 3/4 just for the bow, and then for the ribbon part from end to end is 5 1/2. So just so you can see the different sizes. So this is what they look like. Oops. This is what they look like in different sizes. So those are the bows. And then let me talk about the scallop here. And actually it's romantic rectangle. And I love, love, love these scallops. And so there's 2 different sizes here. Let's see, there's the larger one is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and the smaller one measures 4 by 2 3/4. And then you have these layers here, stitched layers that would fit inside. And then also what I'm using is, for this one, I used the Valentine treat holder pouch. I used again the stitched heart in this set. And then I also use the confetti plates. I use the hearts as well as the bows for my projects here. So let's start with this one, since I showed this to you earlier. So here's the larger scallop, and here's your stitched layer here. Now I did add another layer with this red foil. Isn't that pretty? And I have these hearts are from the confetti plate. I don't have anything in here. So that's that one. And then here's the smaller one. Isn't that pretty? And so here are the hearts from that pocket pouch. I forget what that's called. And again, this is this image is from K & Company. And here's one of those bows from the confetti plates. And these hearts are also from the confetti plates. Okay, and then I have Love here and Be Mine. Those are popped up, and those are also from the Valentine stamp set. Another seam binding bow, and again lace from Mimi Jocelyn Designs, and this charm is also from Lady Cree. And again some trim from Joann's. So those are those projects. So these are my Valentine sneaky peeks for Scrap Diva Designs for the month of January. Release day is January 9th, this Friday. And don't forget to use my coupon code PinkHouse10. and my affiliate links as well. And I thank you all so much for using my code and affiliate links. Thank you so much for doing that. And I think that's it. So stay tuned for more projects. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. And I thank you all so much for watching. Bye for now.